Do you do much, like, what do you do outside of studying?
I try to go outside when I can. I think I don't know. I personally find that exercise is really, really good for you. Just in terms of I don't know. I mean, there's the whole fitness thing, but it's just it gets you outside and like scientifically, it releases endorphins and stuff like that. So I'd say definitely like trying to do something active every day has been really helpful. Staying in contact with my friends for sure has been good. Um, I'm working on like trying to learn Chinese, Duolingo, which isn't going to make me fluent, but it'll increase my vocabulary at least. Um, and I don't know, just trying to like kind of learn things like cooking, stuff that I kind of put off before, but now I have no excuse to not do it.
Yeah, very true. I've been trying to cook recently, and it's going okay. I haven't burnt much yet.
Yeah, it's a learning process, you have to like make some bad things and then eventually they'll hopefully become good.
I've learned that, an ounce of sweet and sour sauce will save most things, so.
Oh no. Yeah, yeah, sure.
How have you find, because obviously I know that what your diet is like, but how have you found, you know, like a limiting diet, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I think it really goes down to just kind of like what makes you feel good. One thing I've been looking into is because I feel like there are a ton of different diets out there. There's like, the keto diet and the like this diet and that diet. And I think it goes down to more just eating things that are kind of natural and minimally processed. And so like, yeah, I have like some dietary restrictions because of health issues and stuff like that. But in general, I think it just makes sense for people to be eating things that aren't as processed. Because we survived thousands of years without boxed cereal or something like that. So there's no reason why we couldn't just cut that out now. And I think it does kind of change how you feel. What you eat influences how you feel. Um, so I mean, just kind of try to eat things that make you feel good.
Yeah, feel good foods.
Hmm.
You're, wait, vegetarian, right? Well, like
So
fundamentally, I guess.
I
Is that right?
was vegetarian for 5 years, but then I developed a gluten intolerance, and I'm also lactose intolerant. So that took out a lot of food groups because a lot of like fake meats actually have gluten in them. Um, so yeah, now I'd say like the closest thing that my diet would be like a paleo diet. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. But the emphasis on that is mainly just eating unprocessed foods, like closest to their natural state as possible.
So weird. I mean, I'm someone who I don't think twice about what I eat or what I buy, purely
Mhm.
because like I don't know, I live very much in the what's it called? Like the sale section of shops.
Yeah.
And my experience at least is that meats are generally cheaper than vegetables. Like for £2, I can get 4 meals out of chicken, whereas that's one bag of apples.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It just seems very difficult to get around knowing that you can't eat certain things, especially if it's for health issues. Because if you're vegetarian by choice, like when push comes to shove, I imagine people would, would falter that if it's like a life or death situation. But
Hmm.
yeah, like what's that been like for you? Because I don't know. For me, I would definitely struggle, especially in uni, having to cook every day. If I couldn't
Yeah.
eat, if I was
Yeah. No,
lactose
I
intolerant, for
think
example.
I think food accessibility is definitely also an issue. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with the terms like food desert, stuff like
No.
that. So basically, the idea behind food desert is that kind of the government subsidizes more unhealthy foods, like sodas and processed foods and stuff like that, so they become cheaper. So in a food desert, all of those things would be available, but there isn't like fresh produce and stuff like that, so people don't even have the option really. Um, so I think that kind of, depends on location. I keep saying that. But it's definitely, I guess maybe from like a social aspect, it's harder. As far as like, well, no one's eating out now, but back in the day when people did go out to eat at restaurants, you always have to be worried about like, oh, can I go to this restaurant? Like, I can't really go to pizza restaurants or like, stuff like that. But I mean, if you think about it, a lot of places, if you just take off like certain sauces or something, it'll be fine. Because not having dairy or gluten is just kind of plain food, just like grilled chicken and vegetables or something like that. So I feel like it kind of forces me to be healthy, which is probably good.
Yeah, I guess in the grand scheme of things, it is. I mean, this whole situation's made me think a lot more about, I guess, general health. Like, I've never been a smoker anyway, but for me, it's like people that are looking at, a respiratory, a breathing disease,
Mhm.
and still freely smoke. It's like, surely you'd think, you want to keep your chances high. And the more I think about that, the more it transpires through to why I eat. I mean, I still don't really check labels much, but I'm definitely more aware of like such and such vitamins or such and such acids and things like that that may not necessarily be uh useful, I guess, in the long run.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. I know some people are very like aware of counting macros. I don't even really know what that means. Um, and stuff. Um, and I don't know. I don't think you necessarily have to be that aware of it. I think definitely one of the biggest things is sugar and added sugar. Like a lot of things, way more things than you would think have added sugar to it when it's just kind of not necessary. And I think that sugar is also really addictive. So I guess if that's something if you want to try to be eating healthier, that's just something to look out for.
Yeah, to be fair, my biggest like I want to say change in the last year or so is Costco
Mm.
because once you get into those American portions, I think I went to Costco yesterday even and I bought a hot dog for like £1, expecting like a little, UK size hot dog, and I get a whole quarter, like half a pound.
Yeah, yeah. Portion sizes do matter for sure. They change things. Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, I guess it's different because your diet's already restricted, but did you experience at all like having to eat or order more food here, like once you were in the UK compared to back home, or was it more or less the same?
I mean, I personally found it to be kind of the same. I think Bristol is kind of a bit of a bubble in terms of having a lot of really good access to good food. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I guess the only big difference is there wasn't as much fast food options in Bristol. There wasn't a McDonald's at every corner. Like in Texas, we have Whataburger. So yeah, I would say that would be the main difference that I noticed.
Mm. What would you rank Bristol in terms of your favorite cities?
Favorite cities like in the whole world?
Well, that you've been to, I guess, in the
um,
world. Why not?
oh man, I mean, I really liked Bristol for sure, and they're known to be like the vegan, gluten-free like center of the UK or something, right? So I
Yeah.
definitely I found more options in Bristol than I have in Texas for sure. Like in Texas, they'll be like, "What is gluten?" I don't even know what gluten is. And, we put butter, we fry everything, we put butter on everything. So yeah, I thought Bristol, I don't know, I really love Bristol. I'm trying to think of other places that I traveled while I was abroad. I think I talked about Edinburgh before. I think Spain is incredible, just in general. Every city I've been there has been really cool.